Hi everyone, Brian Valerio at Alliance Advisors. I'm back to talk about a recent webinar that we hosted looking back on the 2021 proxy season's biggest developments and trying to play it forward a bit to look at what some of these developments will look like for the 2021 fall off-season engagements and potentially the 2022 proxy season. So there were a couple of themes that we highlighted in our discussion. The first centered around director elections. The second was focusing on say-on-pay, and the third focused on environmental and social issues. So I'll just walk you through briefly what some of the overarching themes were that we identified in these three areas. I'll also provide a link to the webinar in case you want to go ahead and take a look at the webinar and examine any of these issues more closely. If you want to have access to the slides, you can reach out and I will provide you with the access to the slides as well. So first, around director elections, we talked about what some of the the common reasons for opposition were. Some of those centered around board composition concerns, overboarding or board commitments, ESG, reporting and oversight concerns, or potentially board accountability. So those are some trends and themes that we're seeing develop in that area. Around say-on-pay, there was a lot of focus this year on pandemic-related adjustments or use of discretion in pay programs. There was also some increased say-on-pay failures this year, as well as some heightened ISS opposition to say-on-pay proposals this year. Finally, we talked a bit about linking executive compensation to environmental and social concerns. On the environmental and social issues more broadly, there was some frequent shareholder proposal topics that we identified this year around climate change, political activity, diversity. Those were some of the key topics that we saw shareholder proposals on. We also saw increased support for shareholder environmental and social proposals this year with a record number passing. And then finally, we talked a bit about some of the developments that we might see come from the Biden administration and the SEC going forward. So if you're interested in learning more about these topics, feel free to access the webinar, which you can get through our website. I'll provide a link below, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions about any of these topics or any of the other key trends that we saw happen in the 2021 proxy season.